What up, everybody? It's your boy Asian. We're back here once again a day after the Michigan game as the Wolverines took on Wisconsin in their Big Ten home opener. Sorry I didn't get to the video last night, a lot going on, but we're here to talk about it now. Let it soak a little bit and give you my thoughts. My biggest thing come out of this game was imperfect, but continues to get better and better. His team is starting to grow and grow, starting to happen at the right time. Obviously, I know we're not as talented in some spots as we need to be. We're a little young. I've talked about the receiver core. It's been a little up and down as we go, but Bryce has continued to grow and grow, and his offense has continued to grow and grow. Now, coming into this game, Wisconsin was very stout up the middle with the run defense. Michigan got off to a good start in that first drive, scoring after Wisconsin answered scoring on the opening drive, and Michigan's defense stifled them after that, and we'll get to that shortly here. But like I said, Michigan, Justice Haynes has a 43-yard run down inside the 10, gets tackled. He eventually scores. Justice Haynes with another big game, another 100-yard game, another touchdown, becomes the first player since 2010, Denard Robinson, to have opening season with 5 straight 100-yard games and at least 1 rushing touchdown. He is a man on a mission. This is one of the biggest pickups out of the portal, one of the biggest gifts for Michigan. I knew Justice Haynes was good at Alabama. He just needed the opportunity, and Bama really probably misses him right now in the run game because they can't run the football right now. But what's another team's loss is another team gain, and I'm happy Michigan was able to get him. He has been a revelation for this team. He is the go-to, the cowbell guy. But Michigan struggled after that running the football in this game. I know, like I said, Justice Haynes finished with over 100 yards, and Michigan finished with 175 yards. Still averaged over 5 yards a carry, but it was tough early in the game, and the run game was not going. After that first drive, it was very, very stagnant. This offense looked very, very bad. One thing that continues to hurt this team, especially in that first half, was drop passes. Samaj Morgan drops a pass. Ben Bredesen drops a pass. Guys are just dropping passes and not helping Bryce out. And we need to continue to run this RPO action because it's working. It's helping Bryce get the ball out quick. Stagnant in his first half. Bryce only threw the ball a handful of times in that for eight or nine times in that first half with some drop passes. And the offense could not get going. But in that second half, they unleashed the passing game. And like I said, this is what I want to see. We know Wisconsin's pass defense is not the greatest, but this is what you want to see Bryce continue to grow and grow and grow. He was 19 for 28 for 270 yards and a passing touchdown. Didn't really run too much today, but that's be saying because the offensive line was very inconsistent as well today, especially in some pass protection where Bryce was getting pressure. He had to step out. Guys were, like I said, dropping balls. But one thing I will say about Bryce, a couple times where guys are kind of close to him. He had a good touch throw a couple times, but there's sometimes where he's got to take a little velocity off the football because you got to have that touch, and he'll get there. He's getting better. Everything doesn't have to be a rocket ball. Just make it easier on your receivers. When you got to put it in there, you put it in there. But sometimes you got to give him a nice touch pass, let him ease into the catch, get the first down. That's matter. He made some plays earlier. Kendrick Bell, he dropped the play where Bryce scrambled. He went all the way around to the right side, came all the way up, stopped, threw it to Kendrick Bell. It was kind of behind, but it should have been caught, and that would have been a big gain. And the offense coming out of coming into that second half, they got the ball, beautiful drive, the most consistent drive after that first drive that they had in the game. Zaveda, again, misses a field goal. He's missed 3 this year already. He's very surprising. I think he's the best kicker coming into the season, but he misses a 27 chip shot field goal to the left. And then Michigan's offense was just dead. And after that point, we needed something. And the spark that got this team going was a drive in the third quarter. Bryce throws a deep shot to the left. Donovan McCulley jumps up like a jump ball for basketball, like catching the alley-oop, and gets the foot down, sparks the offense, and they get going. They start feeding him the ball. And after that, he catches the ball across the middle. Boom, almost like a slant route, catches it, get hits, breaks off the defender, goes right, scores a touchdown, and Michigan needed that. That got them going. He had 62 yards on that drive. Finished the game with 6 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown. Merging leads his team in catches, receiving yards. And the other guy, Andrew Marsh, is coming along, baby. The freshman, the guy I said watch out for the season, 4 catches for 80 yards, made some great plays. He's breaking out, man. I think he's emerging and he's hitting stride at the right time, and I think he can turn into a star and be an elite receiver for Michigan. And this is right. He's only a true freshman. And Samaj doesn't stop dropping the ball, he's going to be in trouble. He's going to get passed up on that depth chart. They're playing him because they have faith in him, but I don't know if it's confidence or shot or what, because even in the second half he had a catch where kind of double catched it, caught it, and was running, and then got the ball poked out. It fumbled, but it bounced right back to him. So I don't know what's going on. He's using for special teams, but he doesn't cut this out. He will be on the bench. I didn't see too much of Channing Goodwin today. As we all know, Fred Moore, number 3, the receiver, junior receiver, he left the program. I figured that was going to happen after camp, after he did not earn a starting receiver spot. He's been passed up on the depth chart, but keep playing Marsh, man. McCulley and Marsh are the go-to guys, and get Marlon Klein involved as well. But I do believe Michigan's doing a better job of getting McCulley some jump balls, using him the way he needs to be used, a contested best catch list. And I think, like I said, this wide receiver room is not elite, but these two guys can be good along with Marlon Klein, Hogan Hansen, Zach Marshall. We know the tight ends are always good. Then keep it going. Let's keep feeding the ball. And I think, like I said, the passing offense is getting right. 270 yards, great for Bryce. He's going to have a 300-yard passing game before the season's over. He's going to have, I believe, multiple passing touchdown games, especially with the schedule coming up. But like I said, the offensive line has to be better. Pass protection, Andrew Sprague, the right tackle, was not great today. Some of the interior guys were not great today, but it's a work in progress. I believe they did a better job at pass blocking today than they did run blocking, but it's all coming along. Still, like I said, still average 5.1 yards per carry, but we got to clean these drops up, and it's still a very concerning thing even after the bye week, because it has to be better, man. We're going to play some better teams. We got the home opener win 24-10. It's like what I've seen from the offense, over 400 yards of total offense, great. It's just a good thing to see. Like I said, we need to get Marlon Klein involved more as well. So I like what I see from the offense. It's like I said, it's growth. The ceiling is only getting higher. The floor is good, but the ceiling continues to get higher and higher for guys like Bryce, and he's still coming along. He's poised. He's playing well. We need it, especially, like I said, coming up, as we have to go to USC next week to take on the Trojans, which will be a very tough task. They're going to be coming off a bye week. It's going to be a 7:30 Eastern kick on NBC. So it's going to be rocking it in LA. I know there'll be a lot of Michigan fans there. They have a big alumni base, a big fan base. I believe it will travel well. I believe that game will be sold out. I guarantee it. And it's going to be a battle of two historic programs as well. SC's coming off a loss to Illinois on the road at the last second. So they'll be ready to go. They got some firepower on offense. Michigan's going to have to be a lot more efficient and prolific, I believe, to beat them. I don't think USC's defense is great. So I don't think the run defense is anywhere as good as Wisconsin was. But I would give Wisconsin that their run defense was good. They had some guys out there making some plays and getting some stops in the backfield. So a lot of work to be done offensively, and just got to clean up them. Like I said, got to clean up the mistakes and just these simple things. Even they had a Greg Crippen, who's been, I think, terrific this year. It was going 4-4-2. I think Sharon needs to be a little more aggressive. I know fans were chirping online saying this offense, and especially in the first half, Sharon was going and looked much better. I don't know if he's got a stranglehold on it, but I want fans to settle down and calm down. Got to learn to let them play and be more aggressive and stop playing scared. 4th and 2, Greg Pippen, it was a low snap. Bryce couldn't really get to it, had to fall on the ball. That was another thing. Just simple things like that cannot go wrong in this USC game. It has to continue to get better and better and better. But I believe they had the faith, the time, put the work in. It can be done. But real quick before I get out here, let's get to this defense as well. I know Wisconsin isn't anything great on the offensive side of the football. They started Hunter Simmons, better pocket passer than Billy Edwards, who's battling a knee injury. Danny O'Neal's not good. Dylan Jones is probably their best offensive player, along with Vinny Anthony II. Wisconsin went right down there and scored on the first possession of the game. Kind of caught Michigan off guard. It was a very long drive. Methodical, just ran the ball, a couple quick passes. Michigan had to get into the groove, and that they did. I know Wisconsin got a field goal at the end of the game, but it was over. Almost a 7-minute drive, 13 plays for 53 yards. Michigan held to a field goal. But mind you, Michigan had the younger guys in there on the back end of their defense, the freshmen. Jaden Sanders, number 27, number 2, Shamari Earls, Elijah Dotson out there, the true freshman as well. Some younger guys and some second guys on the D-line. But that's what I like to see. The secondary and Jordan Young, the safety. Just a lot of these young guys. I believe the secondary is growing, and this is great snaps and reps for these guys as we get more and more into the season. And these guys eventually won't even technically be freshmen if you think about it. They play so much football at this point, especially the early enrollee guys. But this is great. This is great for their development, great for maturation, build that depth. And show guys that if you come to Michigan and want to play in the secondary, you can play and you can be elite, and shows the recruits as well. So with that being said, Michigan did a great job on defense. They did what they did. They stifled Wisconsin after that. So they got 3 points. They held them to 252 yards, 4 for 14 on third down. Jaysean Barham continues to be a menace off the edge, and they dropped him a couple times even when he was blitzing, but just continues to play well. Cole Sullivan's playing well, like I said. Jimmy Roders play well. These linebackers play a lot better coming to season. I thought, especially Jimmy Roders. So they tell you how much faith they have in Jimmy and Cole after kind of moving Jaysean to the outside linebacker role and the edge guy. So which was a great move by Wink Martindale Company. Just did what they had to do. They played with their foot a lot in this game. Like I said, it was tight until Michigan kind of pulled away. I mean, the score is 24-10, but it could have been a lot worse than that. Just these simple mistakes, cleaning up. Like I said, missed field goals, dropping the ball on fourth down. These little things. And Rob Moore got a turnover, baby, on a pick. They're lucky. They got away with a PI call that the refs could have easily called, but Rob Moore gets his first pick in the big house since the interception when Kyle McCord threw it to him at the end of the Ohio State game a few years back. So it's great to see him back. Like I said, this team is getting healthier. Zeke Berry was back on defense, just great. Getting these guys healthy. We're going to the stretch. 4-1, 2-0 in the Big Ten. It's not perfect. It needs to be cleaned up. Let's be far more. So I'm even killed right now. If we can get, like I said, if we can get to the Ohio State game with only one loss, we will get in the college football playoff. I believe, especially with what's going on in the Big Ten right now. Penn State, horrific loss on the road to win this UCLA team before that win yesterday. James Franklin definitely needs to be on the hot seat, in my opinion. Texas has been awful. Arch Manning has not been good. A lot of these quarterbacks coming into the season that we thought were going to be good have not been good and have been super, super disappointing. But there's a lot of room for Michigan. And I think the growth is continuing to get better and better and better, and you can see it. Like I said, run these RPO concepts. Bryce is throwing the ball down the football field a little bit more. Just got to get better with that touch. A lot of these little things, but like I said, only get better and better, and there's still time left in the season. But it's on to the next one, baby, to USC, man. Got to clean these things up and get ready. I'm excited for this game. I'm gonna be ready to roll. I want to beat the Trojans real bad, especially with my pops being a USC fan. So I think Riley's gonna be ready, but I think Michigan can take advantage of their defense. I think they maybe later this week I'll give you a preview of that game breakdown. I do believe Michigan can win this game. If they win this game, they're setting themselves up well, especially with the rest of this schedule. And if we look at it, you gotta go to USC next week. Then the following week, come home, play Washington, has a comeback from Pacific Northwest. They just had a comeback win against a Maryland team who I've been very impressed with this season, and just a very, very young team. And even Malik Washington threw a ball to Farouk. He dropped it inside the 20 yesterday towards the end of that game, and they just couldn't come back. Then you take on the rivalry game, Michigan State. You know, that's always a weird game. I know Michigan State just lost to Nebraska, but they played hard. But like I said, that's a rivalry game, so anything can happen, and that's on the road. Then you host Purdue, which is terrible, which I will be at the Purdue game, and then you go to Northwestern. That game's gonna be played in Wrigley Field. Then you got to go to Maryland, which is always a weird place to play. They almost lost that Natty year, or it was shaky. Took Mike Sanders to 2 picks, and JJ played bad that game. And then, of course, you got the game with Ohio State. Oh, this is good. Let's just keep this momentum going. It's a big recruiting weekend as well. Had some key targets in there. Braylon Hodge, a linebacker, who's committed to Michigan State. Nick Abrams, a linebacker, who's committed to Georgia. Michigan needs to flip one of these guys, and I believe they do. Had some of the commits there already that we got here. Savion Hyder, Travis Johnson, Peter Bork from the 27 class. Just continue to work and be great, man. Just go blue, hell to the victors, baby. Got the win. Like I said, I love it for now. Not satisfied. Let's keep working. Let's keep grinding. Let's get this win. Hey, appreciate all the love and support. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Appreciate all love and support. And follow me on Twitter as well, baby. At Keeping the Score. Hey, it's your boy Adrian. Go blue, and I'm out. Peace.